All right, this is Chris Christie arriving in Wisconsin, or maybe that was not the scene in Madison today. But there's something about the New Jersey governor that when he goes anywhere, he gets a lot of buzz, a lot of press. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker facing a recall effort, calling on the tough love Gov to help him out 5 weeks to the day before a crucial recall election. Could Christie's popularity be a sign of things to come? The guy who just comes in and rescues you. Former McCain advisor Ford O'Connell thinks so. I guess, Ford, that begs the issue whether he is the preferred running mate for Mitt Romney. What do you say?
Well, you know, it's going to be very hard to tell who Mitt Romney's eventual VP is, and I don't think we're going to know until July because of sort of the atmospherics and the Sarah Palin effect. You know, whoever Mitt Romney's eventual VP is has to be somebody with executive experience who can step up, like Chris Christie has, and somebody who's well vetted and won't really be a distraction for Mitt Romney. But, you know, Chris Christie has that ability. Yeah. He is somebody who can speak well to white working class voters and somebody who can deal well with the unions in these sort of tough negotiations that we're seeing around the country, like what's going on in Wisconsin.
Do you think he could be too fiery and too much at risk of overshadowing the more sedate Mitt Romney?
You know, that is certainly the knock against him. He does have a tendency to get off message, and he does have a tendency to be a little gruff, and you really cannot be a distraction. But again, he does bring a lot of things. He does not bring a battleground state like we're seeing with the chatter with Portman and Rubio. But again, the New York Times' Nate Silver shows that when you select a VP from a swing state, they don't necessarily bring you more than 2 or 3 points. So a battleground state VP like Portman or Rubio might not be as important as somebody who can relate to unions and to the working class white male voter.
You know, I'm just reminded of the fact that he doesn't have a thin skin. I'm not playing off that, but the Correspondents' Center, I mean, you had him being ripped for his weight. And everyone else, so Jimmy Kimmel was going after, from Barbara Walters to Keith Olbermann, they all got their nose out of joint. And there's Christie, who was ripped more than they were on this weight thing. He laughed it off and just sort of made no big deal of it. That might be to this ticket's advantage, should there be one, right?
Absolutely. You're going to need somebody who's tough, and you're going to need somebody who can sort of take that in, rechannel it, and refocus the debate. Because, you know, one thing that Mitt Romney's going to need is going to be an attack dog who can really stay on message and also sort of change the debate and be a positive sign and a loyal conservative.
Should the two be that different, though, on a ticket? Isn't there always the risk that you know, the ticket's got to be a little bit in simpatico?
It does, but I think it depends on whether or not Romney is comfortable with Chris Christie. And I think that's why we're seeing these sort of mini tryouts on the campaign trail. And if Romney, you know, finds himself to be extremely comfortable with Chris Christie, who knows? He really could be the right fit. And frankly, you know, that he's going out there for conservative causes like Scott Walker in Wisconsin speaks well for Chris Christie's chances.
Absolutely. If you're Scott Walker, he's the guy you call. Ford, thank you very much. Good seeing you again.